My name is Timothy Baldwin, and this is my audience for the day. And today I will be doing my speech on the effects that social media has on the mental health of younger generations. Imagine you are a teen in this day with so many different social media platforms to look at and sign up for. TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, and many others are all potential causes for mental health due to the content found within. Social media is commonly used by everyone, but specifically by younger people who are still developing into young adults. With the growing and changing that is happening in these young adults, it's not uncommon to face obstacles that lead to poor mental health due to what they're exposed to online. Some of the effects of social media that can enable in young people are depression, anxiety, and even body dysmorphia. Many teens have access to social media, and it's not uncommon for them to be exposed to potentially harmful content. Along with having my own issues rooting from the use of social media, I've also found my research through scholarly articles, books, and magazine articles. Hopefully, after my discussion, you will understand how harmful social media can truly be, with cyberbullying via social media that can lead to depression, the over-reliance of social media that can trigger anxiety, and the set beauty norms on social media that can lead to body dysmorphia in changing teens. Let's begin. The use of social media can often bring the general happiness of a young person down and increase the likelihood of them becoming depressed. Social media is a global construct that can be used by anyone. With everyone having access to social media, this may allow those with malintent to potentially cause harm to young, impressionable teens. Social media is addicting. Young people, including myself, spend an average of 2 or more hours per day on different social media platforms. Last week alone, in my screen time, I spent over 29 hours on social media between Snapchat and TikTok. With all of the time that is spent staring at a small, bright phone screen, it's unthought of that this can be the root of depression. Social media feels like an escape for most, and then when they're exposed to the real world, or the world that they know online is taken from them, it leads to a depressive state. I find myself being over-reliant on finding joy and entertainment on my phone by scrolling through TikTok endlessly. It definitely takes a toll on my general well-being if I don't get to see the videos posted by kids around my age that remind me of my friends. I get irritated. As odd as this may seem, it's true. I don't think I've had a single day since I downloaded TikTok from like 2 years ago that I haven't scrolled through my For You page for a considerably long time. Aside from the addiction to and withdrawal of social media, cyberbullying takes a huge toll into depression found in teens. One variation of cyberbullying is denigration. This is when someone may send information about another person that is fake, damaging, and untrue. It includes sharing photographs of someone for the purpose to ridicule and spreading fake rumors and gossip. This can be on any site or any social media app. It includes purposely altering photographs of others to ridicule and cause distress. Rumors about someone can diminish what confidence they had. No matter how many times the person repeats that the rumor is untrue, people will still believe it. There's been so many tragic movies and short films about teens and young adults losing their lives due to depression, rooting from the cruelty of others online. A study shows that 34% of students report that they are a victim of cyberbullying, and those who have experienced online bullying via social media are almost twice as likely to lose their battle with depression. It's so tragic reading about another person who's ended their battle so abruptly. Aside from depression, anxiety is another common effect of social media use. Anxiety can take up many forms, but the general term for anxiety is described as an unproportionable amount of stress. One of the most commonly found forms of anxiety in our youth would be social anxiety. The constant use of social media can distract youth from daily functions like sleeping, being preoccupied with the never-ending feed at your fingertips. It can sometimes take priority over sleeping and other bodily functions. There was a study conducted to research the use of social media in middle school students. Within the studies, the authors, all coming from the University of North Carolina, begin to cover societal risks in students. Interesting, the study found that teenagers who scored higher on social media or social anxiety and loneliness measures were more likely to communicate via instant messaging and with acquaintances. With the use of social media, it's easier to communicate online with the people you hardly know. From personal experience, I have made what I consider to be a close friend strictly through the use of Snapchat. And although each time we've hung out it's been awkward, we don't really go a day without talking to each other. It's easier to talk over the phone and online than being face to face with someone. Online chatting doesn't show facial expressions of rejection or disapproval, but face to face communication can be intimidating because of the ability to read facial expressions. Above all else, the use of social media takes a toll on the way youth sees themselves and can cause body dysmorphia. One of the most damaging and harmful effects that social media has on our developing generations is that they're exposed to the beauty standard and how they are pressured into fitting in to be seen as normal. Body dysmorphia is defined as a mental health disorder in which you can't stop thinking about one or more perceived defects or flaws in your appearance. A flaw that appears minor or can't be seen by others, but you may feel just embarrassed by it, ashamed, and even anxious that you avoid many social situations. Children and young adults that are exposed to photos of celebrities, severely edited photos, and people who are working hard on a body that gets constant appraisal by strangers on the internet. These photos are getting high numbers and likes, and that's the tip of the iceberg of body dysmorphia. It isn't the people who post these photos' fault, though. They are not to blame. The issue comes from when these photos are receiving so much appraisal that they're becoming what is set as the beauty norm, which is extremely toxic. Of course, social media can play a big part when it comes to enforcing beauty standards. Pretty faces, slim waists, and flawless skin. Their looks seem unattainable, and most of the time they are. A lot of pictures on social media have been heavily edited to make the subject look better. Older people have an easier time seeing that they've been edited. Young teenagers, however, may not notice this. The article from the Teen Mag enforces the claim that social media influencers are what set some of the beauty standards. Kids will justify them making themselves sick by saying that one of their favorite influencers did the same to get skinny. It's so unnatural to force it upon yourself like that. Impressionable teens still will do whatever they can do in their power to make themselves look like their role models and fit into the beauty standard that has been set for them. Social media is a serious issue among our youth and has a serious toll on the mental health of growing generations. With social media, it's been covered by the mental health, informing adults is at risk with depression, anxiety, and body dysmorphia. Today I've gone over how social media can lead to depression, anxiety, and how body dysmorphia is becoming more common with the use of social media. I hope with my statements and research that I've made, you will understand that the toll that social media has on teens and young adults.